this Mrs. Nehal Nair?
Yes.
Nehal Nair, all right. Very pleased to meet you, Nehal. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. Well, you are wanting to apply for a job at Right-tastic?
Yes.
All right, then you're at the right place. May we begin your interview, ma'am?
Yes.
All right. First question, how old are you?
I'm 5 years old.
5 years old. Do you like to write, ma'am?
Yes, it's one of my favorite things to do in the entire world.
That's amazing. What do you write? What genre? Like fantasy, nonfiction, fiction, historical?
Fantasy. I like to write about fake animals, what people say about people, what do they do.
That's amazing. You see, fantasy is a very popular genre, so I hope you'd be successful there.
Yes.
Also, Miss Nair,
Yes.
do you know any stories?
Yes. Positively Purple, Caps for Sale.
Oh, I've heard of Positively Purple. Would you mind telling us a story like Caps for Sale?
Yes.
All right.
Once there was this peddler. He was not like this ordinary peddler, carrying his wares on his back. He carried them on the top of his head. First his own checked cap, then a bunch of gray caps, then a bunch of brown caps, then a bunch of blue caps, and on the very top, a bunch of red caps. One day he felt very hungry, but he had no money for lunch. I think I'll take a walk around the country, said he. He walked for a long time until he got to a big, great tree. That's a nice place to rest, thought he. So he sat down, laying down little by little, to make sure his caps were not disturbed. He slept for a long time. He woke up. When he woke up, he was refreshed and rested. But before standing up, he felt on the top of his head to make sure his caps were in the right place. But all he felt was his own checked cap. He looked in the right of him, no caps. He looked in the left of him, no caps. He looked in behind the tree, no caps. He looked behind him, no caps. Then he looked up into the tree, and what do you think he saw? On every branch sat a monkey. On every monkey sat a gray or a brown or a blue or a red cap. Then the peddler looked at the monkeys. The monkeys looked at the peddler. He didn't know what to do. Then finally he spoke to them. "Hey, you monkeys! You," he said, shaking his finger at them. "You must give me back my caps." But the monkeys only shook their finger back at him and said, "Zzz, zzz, zzz." Then the peddler shook both of his fingers to the monkeys and shouted, "Hey, you monkeys! You must give me back my caps!" But the monkeys only shook their fingers back at him and said, "Zzz, zzz, zzz." Then the peddler stamped his foot and said, "Hey, you monkeys! You better give me back my caps!" But the monkeys only stamped their feet back at him and said, "Zzz, zzz, zzz." Then the peddler got really very, very angry. He stamped both of his foot and said, "Hey, you monkeys, you must give me back my caps!" But the monkeys only stamped their both feet back at him and said, "Zzz, zzz, zzz." At last, he got so angry that he pulled off his own checked cap and threw it on the ground and began to walk away. But then the monkeys pulled off his cap, and all the gray caps and all the brown caps and all the blue caps came flying down out of the tree. So the peddler picked up his caps and put them back on his head. First his own checked cap, then a bunch of gray caps, then a bunch of brown caps, then a bunch of blue caps, and on the very top, a bunch of red caps. So the peddler walked away, calling, "Caps, caps for sale, 50 cents a cap." The end.
Amazing job, Nail Nair. That was wonderful. I loved it. Now let me ask you one last question. Why Write-tastic?
Because it's the best place for me.
It's the best place for you. Wonderful. Well, you've just gotten a job at Write-tastic, ma'am.